Hello there, and welcome to the first episode of the Rotten Brains AV Club.
Woohoo!
I'm not doing something like that. Absolutely not.
Before we get started, we just want to let you guys know, this is the first in a series that is going to be branches off of our podcast. If you watch the podcast, we will always talk about the AV Club, the Book Club, and Rotten Brains games, which is something we're still working out.
And if you don't watch the podcast, that's fine. We forgive you. We get it. Whatever.
Just go watch the podcast. It's really fun. We soon will have the podcast actually on Google Play, Apple I think it's called Apple Podcasts now. I think that's what they do their podcast on. It'll be on Apple Podcasts. It'll be on Bandcamp. We're going to try and get it everywhere so people can listen to it.
Yeah.
Just a big buckshot all over the
yeah, just rotten brains everywhere. Like it's a
rotten brains everywhere.
It's a rotten brains buckshot.
Yeah.
I want to draw that now.
There is going to be major spoilers for the boys here.
For the
first episode of the boys. We are going to do the AV Club. We're going to do one on each episode of the boys. And this is just to kind of get us acclimated with the type of content this is. Yeah, because we're not used to doing this. So I want to do this. This is something we're all passionate about.
This is going to be very rough and tumble.
This is not for kids, by the way. This.
Like, you think that Deadpool isn't something you can bring your kids to? That is Bambi compared to this. Actually, Bambi's pretty bad too.
There's an interesting parallel between this and Bambi. Like the scene where Bambi's mom gets shot. There's like a parallel.
Okay, let's before we get on to it. All right, so welcome to the AV Club. Today we're going to be talking about episode 1 of the Amazon Prime exclusive, The Boys.
The
Boys.
Fuck
we
them.
never met the boys yet.
No,
we're only in episode 1. So like I said, 18 plus. Spoiler. This is 17 plus technically because you can buy rated R movies at 17.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's 17. So, if you're not 17, we'll probably put a thing up on the screen to say when we're going to talk about some pretty horrific stuff.
I thought that scene was funny, but that's besides the point.
There's a lot of people who thought that scene was funny.
It's very dark. It's dark humor.
But, moving on.
Nah, it's fucking funny.
So, I'm your
red
host, Hobo, of the Fearless-Hobo.
Of the Fearless Tribe.
I'm the Fearless Tribe, yes!
And I am Cosmonaut of Space.
And I am Cricket, also of space.
You're not very interesting. You're just a robot boy.
It's a robot. I am a fucking insane cosmonaut. Little slug vodka. We're talking about AV Club.
Yeah, we're doing the AV Club. Welcome to the Rotten Brains AV Club.
I want to clap too because I didn't get to do that. Yay.
Yay,
inclusion.
Clap. I feel included. Okay, so, all around, I think there's one thing that we can all say about episode 1 that going into this, we did not freaking expect.
Cinematography.
The cinematography, dear Christ, give the, cinematographer of this film a fucking award.
Film?
Huh?
Film?
I wish he was doing an actual movie.
It looks fantastic.
Whoever is editing and doing the cinematography in this, like the cameramen,
fucking beast, yeah.
the camera women, I don't know. I really
DP.
don't.
It wouldn't be
DP?
Yeah, DP, their photography, yeah.
They did such a great job with all of that.
Oh, absolutely. It was fantastic.
The camera work, the slow motion shot during the scene we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
Everything was so well shot, and the color, the saturation, that was the first thing Cricket brought up. And I was shocked because, between you and I, between Cobb
You started out thinking that there was some weirdness with the cameras or something.
No,
Until it was realized that it's actually...
It's allergy season, let it go.
Sorry.
Cricket, yes.
At first we were talking about how it looked like it was kind of just off, something was odd about the saturation, and then it started to click that all of the sort of in-universe footage and film and video and newsreels and things were all very saturated at first. And then all the real normal stuff is all sort of desaturated, slightly blue tinged. And then
Yeah.
they even pulled it back into the real space when you had the two characters.
Well, like I said, we'll talk about it as
Okay.
we go on, right? Like in increments of like
Okay.
the episode, because it is an hour-long episode.
Mm.
What I was gonna say, Kaz, you and I were actually pretty shocked. We actually looked at each other. I don't know if you noticed, Craig, when we were watching it and you mentioned the cinematography yourself. We literally looked at each other.
It's not something,
It's not something we expect from you. Is to notice cinematography. But I think, to be all honest, I don't think it was the cinematography that got you. I think it was the saturation stuff. How you
That
really...
is cinematography, though. Yeah.
It is cinematography, yeah, but I think it was that editing that really sparked what you saw, in all honesty. But the cinematography, the shot for shot, like, there's a scene later in the episode that you really like, the push.
Yeah, one of my favorite.
We'll talk about it when we get
subtle-
there.
oh,
We'll talk about it when we get there. But cinematography, overall, I think 10 out of 10. If the rest of the series is this well shot, I don't even care what the story is.
Yeah.
I will watch it
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
beautiful scenery.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
So moving on, I am the only one who have read even a little bit of The Boys, the comic.
And you stopped it partway through multiple times.
Yeah, that's the problem!
To explain to
Yeah.
us what happened in the comics.
Yeah, I stopped it to give you guys a slight comparison of what I know from the comics, and from what I told you, though, you can see the differences already, but they're not bad. They're not bad differences.
They're
like,
trying to still show the same sort of story, but they're using different beats. in different
legitimately,
orders.
there was a part where I paused it to tell you guys about one of my favorite scenes from the comics, and then unpaused it, and it was the fucking scene from the comics. That was fantastic. I love that happened. It didn't end the same way as it did in the comic, but that was a cool scene to keep in because it was really emotionally charged between the two characters. So, now we can actually talk about the actual thing itself. We have our main star, Huey, played by, I don't know his name, and I probably should have brought all this stuff up. But Huey, well, before we go on to Huey, Simon Pegg is in this.
Yes.
What the hell?
As the main character's dad. It's not even like a huge role. It has like I mean, not in the first episode, but Simon Pegg doing an American accent, which I'm not used to hearing.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Yeah, it was American Simon Pegg. I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's British.
So I'm probably gonna mispronounce his name, but Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid. Yeah, see, I told you I was gonna mispronounce.
What the fuck is quad? It's
I don't know. It's
Quaid.
Quaid.
He walks on his quads.
Jack Quaid is the actor playing Huey Campbell. Huey's a giant. All intents and purposes, this is not a PG podcast. He's a bitch.
He's
But-
a Shinji, is what I call him.
Yeah, he is a Shinji. Ugh, why can't I speak tonight? I can't read. I can't
Get in
speak.
the
I
goddamn
can't do
podcast,
Yeah.
Shinji.
Get in the goddamn podcast. But altogether, like he's a kind of bitch character,
Yeah.
but
He's
I,
a cowardly everyman.
yeah, and that's what I think is really good about him, though, is that they don't play it up for like, he's a bitch. Like they're just kind of like, stop being such a bitch and move on. Like we need to do this stuff. Like that's cool. I liked that.
Yeah, it was cool.
I liked the fact that they didn't play it up so much that it ruined who he was. And then we have who I perceive to be the star of the show.
Sorry.
You like
Right.
messed up my cast list.
Yeah, I know.
Who I think is the star of the show, which is Carl Urban playing Billy Butcher.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
You said it yourself. Now you're just gonna hear his voice
Yeah.
reading the comic.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read the comic.
I feel the same way with actually his performance as Judge Dredd in Dredd. He was also Dredd.
Yeah.
And like that's my.
But I'm looking for the girlfriend on here because I wanted to make a joke about how she played her role well and was all over the scene.
She was all over that scene.
Amber. Yeah, I don't know who played.
I think she might not be appearing because she's like a minor first episode character.
Yeah.
So she might not be like in the full cast. So you might have
I'll have to go to IMDb while we're talking about it. Aaron, you'll have to read this.
Erin Moriarty.
Moriarty. I can't read tonight. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm a retard.
It's okay. You're always.
No.
So am I.
Aaron Moriarty playing Starlight. What did you guys think? I loved your costume.
Yeah.
First of all, straight up. looks like it came out of a comic book.
Yeah.
Is awesome.
I liked how the costume really reflected her character. She's this pure character.
Yeah,
and
pure white.
The white, almost
White
like a wedding
and
dress.
gold
Yeah, white
and-
and gold.
She's a great job.
Yeah.
A-Train, done by Jesse T. Usher.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the asshole of the
Yeah,
series,
yeah.
but what did you think?
One of the assholes.
One of the literal asshole
Yeah.
towards the end of the episode, which we'll talk about there. What did you think about his performance? Literally, I think everyone did just like Jesse Salgerio,
Saguerio? I don't fucking know. I
Saguerio,
don't fucking know.
Jess Galerio.
Oh, she's apparently in 3 episodes. Oh, well, that's
That's interesting.
It could be flashbacks and stuff.
probably.
So
Yeah,
his
yeah.
girlfriend Robin is played. I thought her name was Amber, but why am I saying Amber?
was Robin.
It's
They said-
Robin.
they
Yeah,
said Robin.
There's
Yeah.
Robin several times, but I'm an idiot. So
No, it's fine. It's fine.
his girlfriend Robin, she was awesome. Actually, I'm kind of disappointed she dies because I thought she was like a cool,
She's probably.
Yeah.
interesting character.
She was like.
The problem is, if she was in the show any longer, she'd be waifu material. And
Oh, she's some kind of material now.
we'll start moving on.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Chase Crawford as the Deep?
I mean, they showed his ass.
Yeah, like in the first episode, you saw his ass.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
He
fuck.
is.
Yeah, actually, when
He
they
did a
first
great
introduced
job.
him, my first comment, you guys were like, "Oh, this, that." Like, his ass is really fucking prominent in the
like,
shot.
The,
And like
the
and,
first
like,
shot that the Deep's in, I think I'll put up a little short video here on the screen. The first shot he's in when we see him.
he's like on his, he's like point face, like he's like a profile of him, and his costume really calls a lot of attention to this man's ass. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you were just like focused on his ass.
I'm like, it used to make me.
Yeah,
He's
I was-
very there.
I was
Yeah,
studying
yeah.
the suit and the fact that it looks a lot like.
Aquaman version 2.
He
I
looks
did
like
know
the
that,
Aquaman
yeah.
costume from like
The new movie.
The what is it called? Dawn of Justice.
Yeah,
not Dawn of
yeah.
Justice.
I know what you meant.
Either
Either way, that sort of lousier looking thing. That's like
From the pre-cut stuff before they changed the suit to be more colorful in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. Alex Hassel, I think this is the last person we'll probably really go over right now. Alex Hassel as Translucent.
little asshole. Fucking asshole.
We're gonna get into the fucking asshole jokes like at the end of this episode for obvious reasons. He's a fucking asshole.
His performance was pretty shocking.
One would say you could see right through his character.
I don't know what to say because like I don't know about acting. I don't feel like I feel like I know how to like judge an actor's performance. So I'll just say something stupid like I don't know. The Starlight actress is really attractive. I don't know. That's what I
I must
thought.
speak for my penis. Speaking of penises, we see Translucent's penis twice,
Yep.
prominently on screen, just dangling there.
Yeah, that did happen.
Because he has to be
he's naked for his invisibility to work. You're gonna see his clothes. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Here we go.
I know that there's like what was the anime again? It's a superhero one.
My Hero.
Yeah, they have the invisible chick who has to do that too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She is waifu number one because she's everywhere. She's in every scene.
Oh my god.
See? She's in every scene. Okay, moving on. So when we open up, we're introduced to Huey, and he's working his shitty job.
Mm.
I mean, first we're given
He
that
works
whole
at the AV store.
Yeah, he totally works at the AV store, which is awesome. It just says audio visual.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I laughed a
Like
little.
we should set up in that shop and have like that broadcasting
Have
location
it at AV Club there.
in the AV club.
The RBAV.
RBAV, yep.
RBAV. The
You
RBPAV.
called us the RBAV at first. You said so. I'm like,
RB.
no, you said RB at first.
RB.
But you said RB first.
RBAVHD.
So it's like we're like we're like guys watching movies in an RV.
I'd love to do that.
Oh my
We tour the country just watching a movie in each state.
RBAV.
It has to be
terrible.
one that was done in that state.
Yeah, I know.
Or has some ties to that
Yeah.
state, like some thematic.
Oh,
tie.
dude, if we ever have the money, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to each state
gosh.
and have a live performance of us, not critiquing, but like talking about a film that was filmed
Mystery
there.
Science Theater.
Yeah, like a
shit,
Mystery
yeah.
Science Theater live tour, but it's just
Like,
us.
it's
bitching
like,
about
we're in
film.
the weird shit. We're in like Kansas. What the fuck was filmed here?
Why do you have so many movies about corn?
Corn the movie. You see, we gotta get back on.
Yeah, we gotta get back on track.
Get back on top.
So we open up. We're at Huey and his shitty job. Right before, I thought that performance also. By the way, the opening shot of like Vaunt Films.
Yeah.
Like that was cool.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool. It was a nice callback to the actual in-universe thing.
Yeah.
We're opening up scene with the two characters talking about Translucent and the Deep and how they're fighting. Like, oh man, no, Translucent could kill the Deep, and he's like, no, the Deep would just like summon a shark and have him bite his dick off. And I thought that was nice.
Dick's invisible. I thought
that was nice. It wasn't really brought up because that's why at this point I kind of paused and told you guys like, oh yeah, in the boys universe, these companies use comic books as manipulation tools, as a propaganda tactic. Which, why doesn't every universe use that?
That's
Imagine
a really cool
if
idea,
S.H.I.E.L.D. Imagine if S.H.I.E.L.D. just started printing fucking Avengers comics.
That'd be great.
Right? It would totally
They
manipulate
kind of do that in the
them.
X-Men movies, though. They have like, they're like, even like Logan, he's like, that's not the true story.
Yeah, like that's not really what happened, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
I thought that was really cool. We see Homelander come in, just totally wreck this fucking dude's hand. That dude has a gun for a hand now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that honestly, I'd say it's not a gun for a hand. He's just gonna have.
It's a melted gun.
Yeah, that gun. His hand is fucked. So if he does show up later with like
that shot though, that shot of I forget their
like how many times do you see Superman laser somebody's gun in their hand and then they let it go because it's gone red hot? That is welded to your hand. Like
yeah, it is welded to their hand.
That is not coming off. Their finger is melting to the trigger unless it falls off. That is there, and the rest of your arm is slowly going to be cooked from there in.
So Queen Maeve is the first character we actually see on screen.
Yeah.
Queen Maeve.
Hero.
We didn't even talk about her actress, but I thought we don't see her. Like we see her twice.
Yeah.
And she talks in each scene, but like it's 2 lines each.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to see more of her.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think her actress is fucking fantastic. Who is she done by? I just saw it too. She's Dominique
McElliott.
Who
that fucked up?
Yeah. But she did an awesome performance too. Like, really buying like the bitchiness there.
Yeah.
But that shot, that first cinematography shot that you and I squealed, the slow motion of
when she
her
goes through the fucking
just
engine,
sitting there in the engine while it's ripping, the gears are just flying past her head, and she turns around and she's in the trunk of the bank truck, and you're just like, there's the money shot, and I didn't help myself but laugh.
Yeah, I didn't mean
money
that.
Shot.
I didn't mean the pun.
Honestly, it's awful, but how does she still standing there? How does she anchor herself to the ground so she isn't just moving with it?
Hey, Cricket, I have an answer for you, but you're not gonna like it.
Shut the fuck up.
Because comics.
Fuck!
Because comics. Wonder Woman, isn't there a similar scene in the freaking Wonder Woman movie?
With slow motion, like a bomb goes off her arm, and she's like, pew! It just fucking.
It doesn't look even slightly as good as this did.
No!
This show was just boom.
And like, you have to ask, like, how much of a budget difference? Like, how much money went into that shot and how much money went into the shot in fucking
that was
Wonder Woman,
so good. And it's cool, like, the X-ray vision we see on the truck.
Yeah.
I'm not even complaining. Like, oh, it's not realistic. You can't see the... I don't care. That was a cool shot. They did it for that shot, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
The way she just walks out the back, and she's just like...
Fuck you.
Yeah, like, all done.
Yeah.
That was cool. And when she laughed when they pointed their guns at the kids, I was like... There's 2 reasons she's laughing. 1, she doesn't care.
Yeah,
if they shoot those kids, it's not a problem for her. Like, she doesn't know them.
That just makes her look more heroic. That like kids died and she was fighting, whatever.
Yeah. And then like she was laughing because Homelander was just waiting.
Yeah. Comes down. I love the way they introduce him. Like he just floats down into the.
Also,
first.
Who else thought like at that moment Homelander was kind of gonna be a dick to the kids?
Yeah.
Like, there was a few seconds there where you could see the look on his face, like, I have to really fucking, like, sit next to you?
Yeah.
Really?
I love how they do the first thing you see of him is the shoes and then just a giant American flag.
Yeah.
He's so America, yes. He shits
and his colors, we gotta mention the saturation on. He was bright. Bright. Queen Maeve is very dark and drab looking, but he shows up and everything's colorful.
Yeah.
Everything's like 10 times more colorful. That's part of the reason we were talking about the cinematography. It's beautiful. Like, you're gonna hear us
They do
mention
a lot of color.
the word saturation is the word for this podcast. So get used to hearing it.
Get saturated in it.
Get saturated.
Today's production has been brought to you by the letter S for saturation.
I wish we had a really dumb puppet to do stuff with.
Give me time. I'll work on it.
Maybe you could do a cricket workshop. Any which way. Yeah, so we meet up with Huey, and he's just working his job. He wants to go ask his boss, Gary, a question.
A raise.
Yeah, a raise. Yeah, that's what it was. But he's kind of too much of a pussy, kind
He's
of.
a bitch.
Yeah, he's too cowardly.
Little
Yeah.
bitch. But I'm a hypocrite because I don't ask for a raise at my job. I'm due for one. But fucking, he's a bitch.
Honestly, I would say that it's more because you know how expendable you probably are.
Yeah, like it
Fucking remind me, yeah.
He's the only one in that store other than this guy.
Yeah.
So he is actually in a better position than you would be to ask that question.
Yeah, so he even has a better reason to go ask for a raise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just remind me of what a piece of shit I am. Thank
We're
you.
all driving people of shit. If there's anything I learned from the 7 in this series is that humans are expendable and we're worthless. So then we meet Huey's girlfriend, who makes a really, really funny joke about, what did she say? Laying cord?
Laying cable.
Laying cable. And he's just like, that doesn't
Taking a
mean...
shit.
Like, that means taking a shit. And she's like, no, it's not. It means sex. Like, their relationship, honestly, super angry that she dies. Because, like...
I'm
Plot
glad
twist.
this team is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no. It's not even a plot twist, like, literally, not even a minute later. So, they walk down the street, they're talking about where to go eat, and then, A-Train.
The
A-Train
Flash
happened.
analog.
The ass train, more like. Asshole train. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
it's the A-train.
Like, he's an ass train,
Like-
yeah.
You get this really, really graphic shot of, like, the brief second after he collides with her.
It's not even
and
a
then-
second, it's
No,
like a millisecond.
And then he just slowly looks to the side,
Oh,
and
and
you
it's-
see just the splatter
It's
and
beautiful.
blood in
It's
the
like
bone.
fucking Mortal Kombat. You just see.
It is really-
There's a jaw and there's a fucking spine.
Yeah,
and
for
there's
how horrific it is, like, if it happened in real life, like, how horrific you would actually be scarred for seeing it, but
Yeah.
it is a beautiful
And
shot.
yet people call him a bitch.
Yeah.
But like, well, same with Shinji. But like, I thought that scene, I was dying laughing because like you're so, oh yes, we love each other. And they're about to kiss, and just boom, motherfucker! He just explodes like a fucking
balloon.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I was dying.
There are
laughing.
like
then like they pan the camera down for the horror of it, and like
He's
she's
still holding
her
the
hands that
hand.
are
holding her
severed,
arms,
holding her like the
because
forearms.
it's like it's like up to like right before her elbow.
Yeah, and that was hilarious. I thought that was fucking funny.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, like I said, don't feel bad because there's people who read the comic who burst out laughing at that scene because they're like holy shit, this is horrifying, but also at the same time,
It's similar to
how has the Flash never done it?
Honestly, that was always a fear of mine when it came to super speed. It was like, I would never pick super speed, guys, because then I'd run into stuff because I'm a klutz.
So, like, another scene, like a famous horrifying thing in a comic that made me laugh a lot. You ever read Berserk?
Yeah.
You know the scene where the demon possesses the horse
Yeah.
and, like, rapes the girl with the horse dick? Alright, so in that scene, they go to, I think it was Farnes, I don't remember which character it was. They go to, like, Mira brings out, like, a full, like, 2-page spread of, like, the horse fucking her with the horse cock. And I just started laughing, because that's so fucking out there and ridiculous.
It's a demon-possessed horse.
Yeah, demon-possessed horse fucks her with a horse cock. I fucking thought that was
Anyway,
hilarious.
moving on beyond the horse cock.
And now you know.
We have translucent cock to talk about soon.
Oh,
You're right,
God.
you're right. That was funny.
So moving on, we see his grief throughout the entire episode, which is really cool, and I love how he overcomes it too.
Yeah.
That scene.
By facing him down.
Yeah, that scene is awesome. Anyway, so not soon after that do we get introduced to the company.
Vote.
What?
Wow, or vote, or whatever the fuck you
Vo-
say. Yeah.
Vaunt?
Yes,
Vaunt.
Vaunt. Bunch of corporate dickheads. Literally, like, the first scene we actually see of Vaunt actually, like, just
Being
talking
dicks.
By the way, you completely glossed over the other.
Oh no, I was gonna get to Starlight. I wanted to
Okay.
finish her story in like one thing, like where we're gonna skip. Right now we're gonna skip over Starlight, because I think talking about her story as a whole and then wrapping it up with Huey's story at the end is way more important than just talking about each scene going through. Yeah. Because chronologically, I think hers is way more important than that. So moving on, right before we actually talk about Starlight, this is what I want to talk about. The first time we actually see Vaughn like talking, it's all corporate bullshit.
Stop playing with
Cups.
It's not ASMR. Not the boys ASMR review. I really liked the part where she exploded.
Do you like to eat boys? Want me to pet your hair?
So
ASMR Cosmonaut coming soon.
I swear we gotta do that at one point. But anyway,
I'll put the coat hanger.
we see Vaughn. We see this representative come to Huey's house and talk to him. What a dick! He's like, sign this NDA. It's just a regular NDA. Like we're not responsible for anything. And then they never say I'm sorry, which Huey has this
thing about
breakout moment, but it's not even a real moment. It's in his head.
Fantasy, yeah. Where like chokes him and whatnot.
Yeah, he's like, oh, get the fuck out of my house. Like, you say your condolences, and you say, what did you say? You say condolences and
our apologies,
our condolences are
they never
sincere.
say
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Like, they never
they don't fess up to it,
apologize.
yeah.
They never like say they're sorry about fucked up shit.
And that would be like that because that would be admitting culpability. Like, that would be admitting we did something wrong.
Even later, when we get to it, like, they still don't admit. They literally have a line in there about not admitting. Any which way. So now we get on to Starlight, which I know Cricket wanted to talk about. We wake up to her. Again, soundtrack. Fuck, the soundtrack is so good.
What they picked, the song always.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Even the instrumentals, like the instrumental stuff is really good.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it much, but yeah.
Then we're introduced to Starlight. She's a girl who was born with superpowers. And
she's from like the Midwest or something.
Yeah, Iowa.
Iowa, yeah.
She wants to be part of the Seven.
Yeah, and she auditions, and I thought it was gonna be superhero porn, but I was wrong.
That's
I said that out loud.
It wasn't like far off.
Yeah, like this is gonna be superhero porn.
So she auditions and she gets it, and the media craze around her was just insane because you think about it. In the reality of like real world, like that's what happens to young girls and young guys who become celebrities overnight.
Yeah.
They're thrust into this world and they're forced to be who people tell them to be. And there's even a nice, cute like little part where she pours her heart and soul out to the freaking reporter.
Yeah.
And the interviewer.
And they say to her later on, like, oh, that act was brilliant. That was humble and loving and whatever. Yeah.
And she's like, but I meant it. And they're like, oh, that's cute.
That's why we love you, they said.
Yeah, that's why we love you.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. Like, you can see from the fucking minute she starts, they don't care.
Yeah.
I also loved how, during the scene where she's eating, like, what was it? Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
She has a cup filled with milk and it's the Deep. Like,
I didn't even notice.
It's an old school Aquaman cup that they redid to be the Deep.
That's great.
It was a 70s Aquaman cup that they repainted to be the Deep. That was an awesome touch.
She's a fangirl until she gets Me Too'd.
We're getting to that.
Yeah.
So she goes to this big corporate thing. And the first hero they introduce from the Seven, like they're building up how great he is, and it's the Deep, and he's basically their analog for Aquaman.
Yeah.
He's the number 2 of the group of the 7. Homelander being number 1. He's like part of their trinity. You know, usually the DC trinity is Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, but it seems that this trinity is Aquaman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Whatever, Batman. It doesn't really. Batman's in there.
I'd like to point out the idea that the one sane man in the room, usually, if you can call Batman the sane man in the room.
Yeah, is Batman.
Yeah.
It's not part of the Trinity. It's Aquaman.
Yeah.
Which kind of hints at how there's something
the unstableness there. Yeah. So what's really fucked up, in the comic, like, super trigger warning. I don't know what to call it anymore. I haven't even seen a trigger warning in it. Like, she is forced
I'll say this quickly. When you say trigger warning, it's more likely that somebody's going to be triggered.
I just don't know what to call it anymore.
I've heard people say content warning.
Content warning. That's a lot better. That's the thing is that I used to hear the word trigger warning a lot because people would say, "Oh, trigger warning for like this topic," but like the problem is that I don't. The word trigger doesn't seem to be like the trigger is what makes you that way. So content warning I guess is the better way of saying that now. So like really content warning for content sexual stuff like
sexual assault.
Yeah,
he forces her into sex.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You didn't listen. So in the comic, Homelander forces her to give him a blowjob. Mm-hmm. Like straight out, doesn't even hint at it.
Yeah.
He just forces her head and says, "Do you want to be on the 7? That's it. Mm-hmm. Blow me." That's it. Like straight up, not context, nothing. In this version, it's not Homelander. Which I was kind of disappointed. I feel like the symbol of peace and justice should have been the one. Like, that was the point. That was why it was visceral in the comic. But I get why they did number 2. I mean, maybe there's a bigger story they want to do. Because a lot of stuff revolves around...
Deep.
No, a lot of stuff revolves around Homelander.
You know, the golden boy.
And so, I don't want to tell you guys because it's a major spoiler, so I won't. From the comic, so Billy Butcher has a lot of shit with Homelander. Obvious is obvious. I mean, why would Billy Butcher be involved?
Why would Billy Butcher say in the middle of part of that talk when he
like,
had
fuck
out
the Deep, fuck Homelander, like specifically those two.
Fuck them guy in particular.
Yeah.
Didn't he also say when they were in the bar that Homelander doesn't do drugs, doesn't smoke, doesn't do alcohol or anything?
Yeah,
he's like, got a very clean bill or something like that.
He's a cunt.
Yeah.
Refers to him as a cunt, I believe. Yeah. But anyway, so as we're going through this, the Deep just wicks his dick.
Yeah.
He just lights the wick and he's pants down, jerking off a little bit.
It was jarring. He's like, she turns around and the shot goes to his ass. Like,
yeah, it's straight at his ass.
Yeah.
And he's just playing with his dick the whole time. And she gets angry, tries to walk out. Her powers activate, all the TVs crack. And he's just like,
glowy
eyes. No, like, you beat me up. Like, what are people going to think of you now? You know, it's not sex. This is the part I think the whole situation was jarring for you, so I think, like, stuff, like, just zipped by you at that scene. He tells her, like, it's not sex. It's, like, 3 minutes. Yeah, pole smoking at one point, yeah. He's like, it's just a blowjob, basically. Like, it's not sex. So, he forces her by basically telling her, like, oh, look, the TVs are broken and they're not going to believe you. I'm number 2. Like, you either give me a blowjob or you can't be on the team. In so many freaking words.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
He said, hey, girl, it's not going to suck itself.
Yeah, like, the scene was actually pretty messed up, but I think it got the point across. And then the next scene we see her in, again, we're skipping over part of Huey's story and him meeting Billy real quick, so we can circle back around. The next scene we see her in, she's puking in the bathroom.
Yeah.
She just doesn't know what to do with herself. And what's cool is that at the beginning of that shot, she was bright, colorful. They obviously did a lot of makeup on her the shot previous to keep her face very bright. But then the next shot we see her in the bathroom, she's devoid of color. Even her outfit, even though it's white, even though her outfit is white, it seems devoid of color and brightness. Brilliant.
Yeah, lost her innocence there.
Yeah, she lost her innocence. She's no longer as she used to be. But then we're gonna stop right there. Well, actually, no. We can talk about Queen Maeve in that story.
Oh yeah, and
she's a cold-hearted bitch.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you're a slut. Like, what does she say?
She's like, clean yourself up, and just walks off.
And then she calls Translucent a pervert. Yeah. Standing in the bathroom naked. First dick shot. His dick just hanging out.
This is approaching Game of Thrones. Like, just dicks everywhere.
Did you ever see the South Park
Wieners? I know.
That joke's gonna be used a couple times. But yeah, she's a cold-hearted bitch.
Yeah.
You think that's the only other female on the team she'd have something to say.
Some sympathy, but no, just fuck you. Clean yourself up, slut.
Yeah, she's like, clean yourself up. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't let them see you like this.
Yeah.
And I think she's referring to them, not as the team.
But the public, yeah.
The public, yeah. Like, you got that hint, right? Both of you?
Yeah.
I thought it just meant everybody else in general. Don't let anyone know.
Yeah.
No, I kind of
Because
feel like
the team knows they're fucked, but like they don't want the whole
public.
The public needs to be like buying into the illusion still.
So I guess this is the part where we pick up Huey's at work, just doing his job. Like there's nothing else he can do. He didn't
He's
take the
closing
money.
up, yeah.
And no, he wasn't. That's the next scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I know. That's why I cataloged everything in my head as it was going on. So a guy walks in the store asking about nanny cams.
Yeah.
Holding a teddy bear, and he's like, "How many like?
That was the
how many
beginning with Billy
nannies?
Butcher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many nannies shake the babies?
Yeah.
Like just shake them, and he's like shaking that fucking doll.
Yeah.
And I squealed like a little girl, not gonna lie. Billy Butcher is one of my favorite comic book characters in the past 10 years. He's so good.
Yeah.
And you guys can already tell like where he's gonna go.
Yeah.
This man's insane. His name is Billy Butcher. Where do you think this stuff is going?
Gonna kill superheroes.
He shows up. His scene is really good. Really gets you interested, and he gets Huey to follow him. And I love the conversation they have in Times Square, where Billy's just like, why do you think the public doesn't know about all the disgraces the supers cause? Like, all the soups cause...
And they have like the whole pan where it shows like the big posters and billboards of the superheroes.
The movies coming out.
Yeah, the movies.
Like, Translucent has a movie coming out that they keep mentioning once or twice, like,
yeah, they mentioned
The Invisible
that, like,
Force 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it The Invisible Force 2. Like, he has a movie coming out, like...
Movie about
He
Invisible
won't miss
Man.
the movie. He won't be missed in the movie, that's for sure.
Man, it's almost like you can't see him. Anyway, Troy, moving on. We, get to this part where Billy just talks to him and is like, look, like, you want revenge? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm coming to you once, and I'm gone. That's it. The end of the conversation is here. You follow me, or that's it. And Huey, honestly, I love the fact that he's standing in the middle of the street, and he's like, I'm not going to a second location with you.
Yeah.
Like, that was funny. You and I laughed
Yeah,
at
that was almost meta. Like, I'm second location shot or something.
And then I love the reference where he's like, what do I look like to you? And he's like, well, not FBI, because Billy gave him an FBI thing. And he's like, you look like you're filming a porn parody of The Matrix.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
So, I don't know, that shot was really good, too.
And I liked it. I mentioned Taxi Driver in that scene. He's like, all the gritty New York neon.
And Huey's story seems to be a lot heavily influenced by that movie.
You think so?
In the comic, it's almost like
Billy Butcher,
not Billy.
Oh, Huey?
Not Billy. Huey, his story. It's a lot like Taxi Driver stuff. So moving on from there, we get that whole scene, and then Huey ends up just following him. And they go to a seedy underground superhero club, quotes.
I love it. The first thing you see when you walk in is just two people fucking in midair. Like,
flying in midair and having sex. Like, these are the seedy underbelly.
And then you have to say, like, if people could fly and levitate, people would.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like, if you were, like, you could levitate and your girl could levitate, you're like, yeah, let's fucking the
Why
sky.
does she need to levitate? I mean, Superman probably fucks Lois Lane in the air. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, you're right.
Can I point out just how dangerous Lois Lane must be, considering how she can,
take his load.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, because they even made that famous, like, hard sci-fi article, like, Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex.
Yeah.
Where it's like, in many of the scenes where he would fucking kill her.
Like,
when she falls and he, like, grabs him, she would fucking be ripped.
She would just ripped in two,
yeah. She'd be like a fucking splat, yeah.
Yeah. But any which way, so, like, you get this scene, and then they actually meet a Christian superhero.
It was like anti-gay. They said pray the gay away. And
and he's the biggest hypocrite of them all. He's like this stretchy Mr. Fantastic guy, but
he's surrounded by two men, like...
No, three men. One sucking him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he stretches across the room to go be with two other guys.
And I remember the name for it was like Capes for Christ. They used to
Yeah,
say.
Capes for Christ, yeah. Like,
That's the kind of cheesy ass line they come up with.
Oh,
too.
definitely.
but like Billy Butcher says, all a bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the little dude, by the way. Little micro man that runs
Oh,
across
yeah.
the thing and jumps into the girl's vagina. I have to say,
Yeah, that was fucking brilliant.
that was funny as shit. Everybody who has a vor fetish literally just blew their
don't
load.
bring that in, please.
They blew their load. Come on.
They want to jump in her mouth if it's for not.
I don't care. I don't care. Either way, that shit was funny, and
Yeah,
I
it
couldn't
was
help
funny,
but think
yeah.
of, like, Captain Adam. Any which way, it was... I honestly, I think that nightclub scene was really freaking cool.
That was cool,
Honestly, it shows how corrupt the superheroes are.
Mm.
In one fell shot. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
like, all of these characters, like, not even the ones that we're gonna see. We're never gonna see half of them ever again.
We're never going to see Stretchy Dude. Not going to see him again.
He should come back because you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, did someone say I'm gay?
You ever imagine, like, so this is dumb, but if a stretchy dude has superpowers, at one point by themselves, they're going to try and spin their dick around into a helicopter. So I just imagine Mr. Fantastic at some point, while Sue and them are all gone,
Or better than
he's
that,
like
he, like,
tried to helicopter
He
himself.
tries to
with
like stretch
penis.
his dick to make it bigger.
It just gets tiny, like it just gets
there.
thin.
Yeah, he's just like a. Aww. Fuck.
But any which way, we get past that scene and we find out that A-Train just laughed.
Yeah, he was laughing. They showed like the security cam footage, and he was laughing about like how like he swallowed his molar on the
Her molar.
Yeah, sorry.
When he ran through her.
Yeah,
And it pisses Huey
I
off.
actually kind of laughed at that too.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Like, that's the thing, though. People are gonna have different reactions to it because one, it's so horrifying, but two, it's also like so absurd.
Yeah, and it was so sudden and fast. It was like something coming out of frame and slapping someone. Like
Yeah.
a comedy. Yeah,
And
it was
it's
funny.
it's great. I like that approach.
Yeah,
to
that
it.
was a very shocking scene.
Because
or
even-
yeah.
Even if you're laughing at it, you still realize how fucked up this is.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, if this happened in real life,
The blood.
the idea of that would be so incomprehensible. You'd probably die
Wouldn't
just from a
believe it.
shark. That shark, yeah.
Yeah,
The shark. The
Yes.
shark.
The shark of the deep.
Oh my god, the bites the D.
Yeah.
Bringing it all around.
All in a circle.
So we get past that scene.
It bites the A-Train.
We get past that scene, and we're brought to a scene with Starlight. What's her name? Annie?
Yeah, I don't remember.
And oh my god, I can't remember her name
I
now.
didn't pay attention to her actual name.
But she's sitting on a park bench talking to her mother on the cell phone.
Yeah, and the whole thing, and she can't say to her that what happened.
Yeah,
and-
her mother. Well, that's not the thing. Her mother's so proud
Yeah, and happy that she's the one.
And she can't bring herself to
to upset her mother, even
Yeah.
though it would be the right thing to do. But she's just like, no, everything's fine. And as soon as she hangs up the phone, she starts crying. And next to her, eating a fucking hoagie is just fucking
Yes!
Huey.
I thought she was like awkwardly eating a hoagie. You okay?
Hey, by the way, can we just say his actor's really good at playing this
Yeah.
like awkward dude who's coming to terms and grips with this. But this scene is a big turning point for both of the characters.
Mhm.
And like I said, I paused it to tell you guys about the scene that was in the comic to be like, man, it is a defining moment in the comic for both of these characters. It happens a little later in the comic, but it had to happen now.
Yeah.
I mean, it had
the
to.
way they change things.
Yeah, it had to happen now. So Huey just got done talking to Billy at a beautifully shot dark bar scene.
Yeah,
that
was good.
is
It reminded me like that painting. You know that painting?
Yeah. legitimately.
Even the dogs playing poker? Or?
No, you. The one where it's like darkly lit and it's like light in the middle and it's like from the outside and the whole bar is curved. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yes.
Like I don't remember. I can't remember the name of the painting.
I know. What are you talking about? It was
Fucking dark.
It was dark and you could
Fuck.
barely see anything, but the only thing you could see was like the fluorescent bulb of the Bud Light sign.
Yeah.
And like some of the lights hidden underneath the bar. That was a beautifully shot scene.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
dark, but that is like the pinnacle of like what a
Like good low lighting.
what a low lighting scene can bring to a scene, and that was great. I loved it, and he basically tells Billy to fuck off.
Yeah, he does.
He's just like, I'm done. Like, I can't. You want me to spy on superhumans? Like, what is wrong with you? I can't.
Get in the fucking robot. That's what I have to say to him.
Get in the fucking robot, Shinji. Anyway, Trey, he just basically, Billy says to him, like, look, you need to go to the tower. Like, you need to go to the tower and plant this bug because you're the only one who could go in. You're legitimately the only one who could go in. And Huey's just like, no, like, this is too much. You're asking way too much. And then we move on to the next scene, which is him and Starlight. And I already told you guys about Starlight. That conversation between her mom, what did you guys think, though?
The actual mom part?
Very real.
Yeah, the mom part was... Yeah, I was thinking more of the next part, where, like, she...
But I'm talking about the cell phone part. Like, her mother's looking at the People magazine with Starlight and the spread.
The pressure that's put on her and what have you, yeah.
It was real. It was really good. It was very well done. And I like the pressure that's being put on her. And so this shot is Huey and her talking about the problems. And they're being very vague.
Yeah.
And Huey has a really good point. Like, do you like this job? She's like, it's all I've ever dreamed of. And he's like, oh, is it worth having? Like, is putting up with the bullshit worth doing? And she says, yes, it's all she's ever dreamed of. It's all she's ever wanted in this world is to do this job. And during that scene, Cricket and I really pointed out that the background was very bright, very beautiful, but they're gray.
Yeah.
They're very...
And it creates this brilliant contrast.
But then, by the end of their conversation, both of them have lit up.
Yeah.
They're both colorful again. His shirt looks a lot more green in that scene, and her pink track outfit looks a lot more glowing in that outfit.
Yeah.
Like, it was a great.
It's contrasted by the very dull scene, cityscape and skyline.
Yeah.
And the tower just sitting there, looming over both of them. Like, it's both of their problem. Like, they both gonna weigh over this. She goes back, and we get one of Kaz's favorite scenes.
So when she has to assert, it's a very brief little thing, but she kind of briefly asserts herself.
Right before we get to that, I know you want to talk about it so much because it's really good. She comes in and Homelander is standing there with his back faced, and the room is bright. Yeah. Right before that, it was really gray. She's right in front of this awesome, by the way,
that was amazing
statue.
That sculpture.
Seriously, if I could get a model of that sculpture, that shit would go right on my shelf.
It made me think of like something from like the Soviet Union or something. Like
it also made me think of like how people in the DC universe treat the Justice League and the Hall of Justice, like it's this pinnacle of
like
society,
almost religious.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. And I seriously, if Amazon sells like that sculpture, I will buy a thing and put it on my shelf. That is really good. I don't even care. I don't like the 7, but that's just brilliant. It's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Any which way, we see her standing in front of it, and the doors slide open to reveal bright, colorful, superhero meeting room.
Yeah.
With the Deep and Queen Maeve, whatever. Don't care.
Gladiator bitch.
Homelander standing in front of the window with his cape and bright colors, and Black Noir, I think his name is, their analog for Batman, and Translucent is just invisible besides his outfit and his glasses.
Yeah. You know, because they wouldn't let him be in there completely naked.
Yeah.
He is everywhere else!
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that Homelander would
like... the cameras, you can't have your dick out, man.
Yeah.
And then we are given this scene where the translucent she sits down at the table and then
she kind of asserts herself a little bit with the Deep, but there's this great moment where when she asserts control of herself of the moment, the camera does this subtle little push on her, and she takes control of the camera and she takes control of the viewer's gaze. And that was beautiful. I loved that scene. It was such a subtle, quick little moment, but I loved it. And the scene, because when she uses her like superpower, whatever, like her eyes glow and like the silver. So the camera moves in on her really subtly, really quickly, and then just her eyes
Yeah,
Blaze.
and
Oh, it
right
was amazing.
before
And
that,
then the Deep was
right before that, the
Yeah.
Deep was like, "Oh, we didn't even think you were gonna show up. It's a lot for anyone to swallow."
Yeah.
And she's just like, "No, I'm gonna be here for a while." And then
Yeah.
like the camera just snaps right to her, like
yes.
she's in control. And I noticed something like in that scene, her color kind of just poof,
Yeah.
like her whites seem to be pure, like bigger again, and her gold seems to shine a little more.
Yeah.
Really, really good cinematography, man. I think we could literally do the whole AV club talking about just the cinematography.
That was
Sorry.
Yeah, you just spat on me.
Talking about how the cinematography is fantastic in this series.
Oh yeah.
Any which way, moving on. We get past that scene, and then we get the actual scene that we were building up to. Huey agrees with Billy to infiltrate the tower. So he calls, and he... one thing I gotta really talk about is the actor playing Huey. He has, like, these moments where he says something that's stupid, and he knows it's stupid, and he, like, cringes himself, and he's like, like, you can see the thought process of, like, God damn it! Yeah, like, he's talking to Starlight on the bench, and he's like, "Oh, you're not, like, your new job spelling,
Kids crack.
Kids, smack." And then you see, like, the facial, like, the facial features he does. Like, he's like, "Oh, God, why did I fucking say smack?" Like, of all the things? And, like, when he's talking to the guy.
It really sells his awkwardness.
Yeah, it's really good. When he's talking to the guy on the phone, and Billy's like, you can do this, like, cry more, sound sympathetic, like, you could see him say something he regrets, a button on it is what he... Put a button on it, and he's just like...
Button? What?
Like, you can see him, he doesn't say anything, but the facial, like, twinge of, like, fucking idiot, I'm an idiot. And we all go through that.
It honestly comes off as an actor being very good at playing a bad actor.
Yeah. It's really good, and I liked it. We get to the part where Billy's telling him they're in the car, and Billy's like, "Look, you just go inside. You ask to use the toilet. You take a fake shit. Put the sticky part, the peel part of the speaker thing. In the toilet. Flush it. Just stick it under the table when you go back. All done. Super simple." Huey's freaking the fuck out. Doesn't know if he can go through with it. And he's like, another reference to the Matrix. He's like, you remember the part in the Matrix where he shows them the blue pill and the red pill, and you could take the red pill. And
He's the pills confused. Like, fuck it, just stop being.
Yeah, like at the end of it, he's like, oh, you could take the blue. Wait, was it the red pill or the blue? Doesn't matter. Stupid pills. Just take a fucking pill and stop being a cunt. Like, he just like, I love Billy because that shit is straight up the best thing. Like, halfway through his metaphor, he lost like, his train went off its track and just forgot what it was doing, and he's just like, whatever. Oh, speaking of which. Trains.
I like trains.
Right before we talked about this meeting, there was a shot. Wow. I'm going to try and do that. At the end of this video, if I'm brave enough, I'm going to use the I like trains and her getting hit.
That's great, I love it.
Anyway, Trey, I think I can do that. I should be able to do that.
I like trade.
Let's get back
on
this.
Right. There was a shot you really liked, and you actually felt emotionally too. The panic attack in the fucking convenience store.
That was a fantastic. They did such a great fucking. They did such a great job conveying the feeling of a panic attack. Like the camera moves in a disorienting way. There's the screechy sound. It's
the
like,
heartbeat,
and the blue, the saturation. It was one of the better depictions of something like that I've seen in a while.
And he falls backwards.
Yeah,
I'm seeing all these pictures of A-Train everywhere. It's on the beer. It's on the cereal. It's freaking endorsing Red Bull. Like, it's everywhere. It's even on the magazine of the Clark.
Guys,
he has a panic attack, a full-out anxiety-induced panic attack.
Yeah.
And just collapses. Like, that, I thought was really good.
Yeah, I like that scene.
It was really, really good. So moving on
He has
to the
PTSD,
actual...
basically.
Yeah, he does.
They kind of assert that.
Yeah.
But like, when he meets the A-Train and everything, he kind of has PTSD.
Yeah, so moving on to the actual meeting.
Mm-hmm.
He goes into the building, and as soon as A-Train and his fucking lawyer walks in, the douche from the NDA sign scene comes walking in, he's just like, just so we're clear, A-Train's gonna apologize, but not an admission of guilt, basically.
It's like, no, his apology's not like an admission of culpability or something.
Yeah, like, fucking douches through and through.
Yeah.
He just sees A-Train and all he can see is him covered in blood.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you hear the ringing come back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so cool. In that same scene,
He smiles and it stops.
he smiles and realizes he has to do this.
Mm.
Like, that was his moment. Starlight's was earlier on the bench.
Mm.
And in the comic, that bench scene was both of their realizations. Like, they both realized they had to do it.
Mm.
But in this, I really think that was the moment for him, not the bench.
Moment of truth. Yeah.
The moment of truth that he knows what he has to do. He has to take down this asshole. He's way too cocky.
Yeah.
And he's going to get away with it no matter what they do here.
Mm.
And he's just like, yeah, shit happens. I'm sorry. Like, and he's like, okay, cool. Are we done here? Like, he just walks away with the publicist lady. And then Huey's like, can I use the bathroom?
Yeah.
Goes into the bathroom and he fidgets with his phone and he's like so nervous he knocks the thing out and it falls onto the floor and Starlight walks in.
Yeah, she's right there.
And she doesn't turn around.
That's where the makeup scene was and everything, yeah.
Yeah, the makeup scene.
With Queen Maeve and whatnot.
Yeah. No, that was before.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It was before. This is just, she was like putting on mascara and stuff, like prepping up and going outside.
Mm-hmm.
But during this scene, he drops the bug on the floor. And it falls outside of the stall. She doesn't see it. She leaves. And he panics, grabs it, walks out. I noticed you didn't flush the toilet. You guys did your scene.
Yeah.
He should have flushed the toilet.
Probably why they followed him, yeah.
Yeah. But we see in the corner, another dick shot, I believe.
Of him, of the invisible man.
Of, what's his name? Translucent.
Translucent.
He's standing there invisible in the fucking bathroom again. Like, this dude just hangs out in bathrooms.
Does he need just like his own little like this is his space?
Everyone needs X-ray vision. Everyone needs fucking X-ray vision.
No, just thermal. You can bend light around him.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
radiates heat, so you could just use night vision
thermal.
goggles.
You just broke him.
Yeah.
He just broke him.
Anyway,
Fuck you, translucent man. You're a butt.
Getting to that, he signs the thing and puts the bug under. Well, we cut back to Billy and Huey, and Billy tells him just, go back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get involved in this. Let me do my thing. And if I need you ever again, I'll contact you.
Yeah.
Huey showing, I guess, like, I'm kind of a badass too, Billy. Like, he rips up the $45,000 check in front of Billy.
Yeah.
And I think that, honestly, I don't think that was him, like, showing, I didn't do it for the money. It was more of, like, look, Billy, like, I can do stuff. Like, I'm strong too. That's, I think, what that scene was.
Yeah.
But overall, it wasn't for the money. He did this because he wants to take down A-Train.
Yeah.
And it was a good cause.
Mm.
But Gary leaves, his manager. And then the door doesn't close.
Mm.
And then Translucent Man just reveals himself. Not revealing, like, showing himself. He just says it.
Yeah.
I'm right in front of you, prick. Like, honestly, that's so stupid.
It's stupid, but, you can't see me, so I'm going to be cocky as fuck.
And then he beats up Huey.
Mm-hmm.
And then Billy comes back and just, like, he rips off, the Translucent rips off a TV.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna smash fucking, Huey with it.
Yeah.
But out of nowhere, Billy's car just BAM! Right into the freaking store and just slams Translucent's ass into the wall.
Oh, yeah. It was
Quite
great.
literally.
Yeah, ass first.
He, like, the whole fight scene, you were like, oh man, like, fighting an invisible guy, like, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the whole thing, like, oh my god, I mentioned it earlier, the movie with Kevin Bacon.
Something. I haven't never seen it.
Hollow Man.
Yeah.
Hollow Man. The way they see the murderer in Hollow Man, because he's invisible, is they turn on the sprinkler system.
Oh yeah.
He's invisible, so the water will still hit him. He's not.
Yeah.
It won't go through him. So that was my thought process there. Like maybe they're gonna turn on the water system or something in the AV place and then electrocute him that way. But any which way, he fights Billy. Gets in a good few punches, but I think that was intentional from Billy because he spits all of his blood that he's been holding in his mouth this whole time all over him. And he's like, what did he say? Oh wait, that's after in the middle of the fight. Huey's like wobbling around trying to get out of the store, hobbling here to there. And then he thinks about it while turning around. He sees Billy get thrown to the ground, and you can see that point where he's like, I need to do something. Like this, something needs to be done. These guys need to be taken down a fucking peg.
Also, if Billy gets killed, then Translucent Man's just going to come up to him and kill him too.
Yeah. So he just decides to go back, and he goes back, and Billy's on the floor, really like hurting. Translucent Man really fucked him up.
Yeah.
And right behind him is Huey, holding the electrical wire from the TV that he ripped out of the wall, and Billy gives this speech of like, you're not... Translucent doesn't mean invisible.
Yeah, you're a fucking moron, because translucent means like semi-transparent.
Transparent, yeah, you fucking idiot, you cunt. Yeah, he calls him a cunt, and then he, like, Huey's trying to, like, pull the cord, but it's, like, in the wall, so he can't, like, hit him. So Billy fucking, like, kicks him, and it electrocutes him right in the ass.
Yeah.
All you see is his balls and his ass sparking.
Yeah, and they mentioned like he has the carbon materials and that's super conductive.
Earlier, he was in Jimmy Fallon on TV, and he mentions how like he can reflect light through
this carbon metamaterial that his skin is made of.
Yeah, so Huey devises that like that metal that's going to be conductive.
Yeah.
So electrocute him.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last scene we seen from that is them loading
him into the
Translucent
trunk.
into the trunk.
Yeah.
And that's all from Billy and Huey. Now, in the background of this whole story going on between Starlight and Huey and Billy, we had a scene with Susan, the rep of the Seven. Now, she's basically selling them like their data plans for a cell phone package.
Yeah, yeah.
But superheroes,
yeah.
To cities and whatnot for law
and
enforcement.
it was the governor of Georgia?
Baltimore.
The mayor of Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, like, you know, Baltimore's doing pretty bad. And he's just like, you know, whatever. And then she's like, we can do $300 million a year. A 3-year contract.
Black Panther.
Or like Nubian King or whatever.
Nubian Prince.
Nubian Prince. He's like their version of Black Panther, yeah. And he's just like, no, I'll do 200. You know, because I heard a rumor. It's just a rumor, but something called Compound V is on the streets. And that is something I didn't think they were going to bring into the show.
Yeah, yeah.
It just... It's exactly what you said. It's like a super steroid.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
gives people superpowers.
Yeah.
Compound V isn't really introduced yet. It's just there. It's hinted at 3 times. But we keep cutting back to Susan throughout the episode. And finally, is he on the plane?
Yeah, he's on the
plane. And then fucking Homelander.
Wait. She agrees to give him to sell Nubian Prince to $30 million a year, and not to ever mention Compound V ever again.
Yeah.
Because it's total lies, and
if those lies get out, they could look bad.
Yeah. And then this awesome shot of the little kid from the Baltimore mayor's son or governor or whatever. I don't know. I think it was a governor, but like I'm saying Baltimore. I think he was the governor of Georgia,
Maryland.
but he like governor. Why did I say Georgia?
Whatever. Because they mentioned Atlanta in the conversation.
Oh yeah, because she was like, "Oh, he's gonna go to
Atlanta."
You to
Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's why. And they notice that Homelander's flying in the storm.
Yeah.
On their jet, and they're like, "Aren't you?" And the little boy's just like, "Aren't you guys friends?" And then Homelander's eyes just light up red, and he cuts the fucking plane in half.
Yeah.
Just
no loose ends.
Yeah. That's how they end it. They end it right there.
Yeah, it just cuts right to the ending right there.
And-
Cuts to looking at Homelander, his eyes dimming, him smiling.
Slightly. Yeah,
Just a
slight
slight
smile.
grin as
Yeah,
he's
you
a job
fucker's
well
dead.
done.
Yeah, he's just an asshole. So, going forward, I think we're all pretty sold. Watch this series.
Yeah, I like it so far.
If you
Promising.
even have a slight interest in comic books, and you want to see something that's not normal comics,
Mhm.
this is a must watch.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good show.
And if you're interested in filmmaking,
Good show.
watch the cinematography of this shit. Like, you want to know what good cinematography looks like for a good action or drama film like this.
Yeah, pretty good.
This is really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Cricket, what's your take? What would you say for people?
To watch it, obviously. I loved a lot of the costume design. I gotta say, my favorite costume design in all of this, Invisible Man, Translucent Man.
What cost?
Oh.
You mean that like weird Avengers
Yeah.
training outfit they kept putting him in, like a black and red type thing with like the
Yeah.
little diamonds on it everywhere?
That-
It was really cool. Yeah.
I have to wonder, does he have an actual costume that can turn invisible?
No, because when they did that presentation, he was just naked. Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
Yeah.
Even on the Jimmy Fallon scene, they said like, "Oh, he has to be completely naked to use it." And he's like, "Yup." So yeah,
We've seen his dick too many times already, and it's
Yeah.
only been the first episode.
they should just
Seen
take that
his dick,
material,
and we've
skin his man,
seen-
make some clothes out of it. So I'm saying.
Oh, God.
I don't think he's dead.
Oh, he's definitely not
I hope
dead.
he's not dead. I want more.
What I want to see...
I want Billy to torture the
You got more of his
fuck out-
dick.
I want Billy to torture.
Firstly, what I want to
He's
see... them-
naked. Of course, Billy's gonna do something with his dick.
You know what they need to do? Like, while he's unconscious, just spray paint him.
Yeah.
Like, spray paint him skin tone. So that way he's
Oh my
just like...
god, that would
That'd be
ruin
hilarious.
his life.
Yeah.
He's like, I could still turn invisible. And then you just see, like, his mouth, inside of his mouth, his eyes, like, his hair, all turn invisible. But you just see the skin, and he's like...
Fingernails.
Yeah, there's another downside of being the invisible power. He can never dye his hair.
Oh, God.
Oh
those are
yeah,
would dye
because
his hair,
it wouldn't
yeah.
be natural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be the dye would show up.
Oh,
that's funny. Ah.
Contact lenses.
Oh
It
yeah,
wouldn't work either.
contact lenses. He wears glasses too. We see that in
Yeah,
the scene.
yeah,
and he's
you're right.
wearing glasses.
Oh,
and
You
God.
might not see them. There's clear little things. You might not really see them. But if you're like fighting, you're able to like catch one and like punch him in the eye. Yeah.
But maybe they're just for reading. But anyway.
Yeah, he might just
It doesn't
have,
matter. He got fucked in the butt.
With an electrical cord.
He's gonna hate electronics. Actually, wait a second. They still have that bug on the underside of the table. They
No.
should
No,
still
they
be able-
don't.
No, he didn't.
No, they
That's
didn't.
how he found it.
Translucent found it, and he's like, "You do not think I would find this, you little
He
bitch?"
puts it in
Oh,
front of
I
him.
thought
Yeah.
it was like the thing that was in the toilet. It was the other one he found.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
he
That
found
was the
he
one
found
from
one.
under the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bug from under the table. Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn.
We didn't meet the boys in this episode.
Nope.
I guess that might be.
Episode 2.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think all three of us, from the first episode,
Yeah, thumbs up.
watch it.
Yeah.
This is cinematography for me is 10 out of 10 on this. Like, it is so
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
so good. Like I was telling you, I'm excited now. I was originally worried about the Lord of the Rings series that they're doing.
Yeah.
But if the
Is it super
cinematography,
weird?
if the cinematography is anywhere near this
Ugh.
level,
Oh,
Peter
yeah.
Jackson will feel bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It looks good.
It looks good.
I think the story's brilliant.
I think it's good too. I like
Billy
the
Butcher
take.
is one of my favorite comic book
I like the
characters
world
right
of
now.
it. I like
Yeah, the world. Oh, it's so good. We're going to do an overall video, by the way, at the end. So there's going to be 8 episodes of The Boys. We're going to watch all 8. We're going to talk about it. Each episode will probably be about an hour long. Just like it'll be its own little mini
It's
podcast.
an hour-long episode, and there's.
So we got a lot to talk about when we
Yeah.
talk about each one in detail. I liked it.
I like
Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Seriously.
You're all
Borrow
grown.
your parent, like
Borrow your mommy and daddy's Amazon Prime.
whoever in your family has Amazon Prime, borrow it, go watch it. Again, not for kids. In the slightest, you wouldn't let your kid watch Game of Thrones, don't let him watch this.
And yet, there were still people who brought their kids to watch Deadpool.
there were still people. There's people arguing about taking their kids to go see Joker. All right. By the way, also there might be a special episode of the AV podcast on Joker.
Maybe, yeah.
There might be a special. It comes out this Friday.
Yeah.
We'll probably go see it, and we'll have a special AV club.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've been Fearless-Hobo.
I've been Cosmonaut.
I've been Cricket.
And go watch The Boys. This is great. We can't wait to see you in the next one. Episode 2 of The Boys and episode 2 of the AV Club.
Podcast.
The Boys Podcast.
The Rotten Boys.
See ya.
See ya.
We really need a better sign off.
Yeah.
Bye!
Not that.
Damn it!
Fucking no, yeah. I would rather be shot than have that be my sign off.
I like trains.